Before you confidently, eagerly hand directly over your hard-earned liquid cash specifically for what looks perfectly exactly like a completely spotless, heavily cleanly detailed, shiny used car proudly sitting right on a lot, you absolutely totally need strictly to know exactly precisely what is actively preparing to violently expensively break exactly under that shiny, clean, waxed hood. If you are highly actively carefully inspecting a specific modern model completely heavily equipped directly with the electronic power steering rack commonly universally known explicitly as EPS, which is incredibly totally common specifically on the later generation models, you absolutely must actively perform a very highly specific physical mechanic test. You must actively turn the inside radio completely totally off, actively roll both front glass windows all the exact way completely down, and actively rapidly violently wiggle the round steering wheel back and physically forth very quickly exactly while the heavy car is completely totally parked exactly with the internal engine completely running. If you clearly actively hear a very distinct, sharp, bright, metallic, heavy, clunking physical noise exactly coming entirely from deep completely behind the interior dashboard steering plastic column, you are highly, almost absolutely certainly actively looking exactly at a completely totally worn, completely out flexible internal steering coupling plastic. This is highly a tiny, completely small piece exactly of cheap soft rubber perfectly shaped exactly completely like a small little star that precisely sits entirely internally completely inside the steering column electric assist motor specifically actively designed exactly to absorb slight physical steering vibrations. Now, let us deeply, completely talk specifically about the heavy turbo diesel cast iron engines, specifically explicitly the wildly highly popular 1.5-liter CRDI block, which is practically bulletproof and will totally run forever, but its highly complex auxiliary exhaust emission physical systems can cause absolute, complete, expensive nightmares. The exhaust gas clean recirculation valve, commonly widely known entirely as the EGR, is specifically heavily actively designed exactly to physically route hot exhaust strictly back directly into the cold engine, specifically to legally lower harmful emissions. But if the previous owner only used the car to slowly buy local groceries, that massive valve will eventually clog completely solid. Always meticulously check the glowing dashboard digital display strictly for any bright glowing yellow check engine dashboard warning alert lights and firmly formally interrogate the private seller entirely about their typical normal daily commuting driving strict habits and specifically exactly if they ever actively took the heavy car specifically on long, fast, high-speed highway runs. Regarding the physical suspension metal components, exactly as these highly specific heavy cars actively rapidly approach the high 150,000 total kilometer driven mark, the front anti-roll stabilizer bar and steel links are almost universally completely the first physical internal components specifically to completely heavily surrender and structurally break. The absolute completely most critical vital piece of total maintenance repair advice I can possibly actively ever give specifically you is to obsessively completely heavily manually check the exact paper service history logbook records specifically for the heavy engine oil fluid replacements, especially specifically heavily on the turbo diesel engine models before the turbo explodes.